Alrighty, guys. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to another live. Hope everyone is doing good out there. Hope everyone's having a great weekend so far. We got ourselves a bit of a storm that we're watching here that we've been kind of looking at for the last little bit. So there's going to be the shot for a little bit of severe weather potentially, as well as a bit of snowfall and stuff like that that's incoming. So we're going to need to be looking out there here in the country for the next couple of days because, you know, the good news about it is that there could be quite a bit of rain and stuff like that involved for some people who desperately need it. There's a lot of places out here in the country right now that's like under a big drought. So we'll be talking about that here in a minute. But what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Let's see who we got here today. Before we dive on into it, we got Kid Storm coverage. We have Peachy. We have LWX24. We got Tabletop, Asin, Isaac, Snoopy, David, Stormlever, Glendale, Misty, Dylan, Tom, Anna, Case Fan. Let's see here. Isaac, Corey's, and Ted. What's up, guys? Hope y'all are doing good. Of course, everybody else who is not chatting, but is here hanging out. Hope you guys are doing good as well. So current look real quickly. Before we dive into future weather, I do want to show you guys kind of what is going on right now. In the south, actually, we got a bit of storm activity, a little bit of thunderstorms possible today. Out here towards like Texas and like Louisiana, we have a little bit of storm activity going off out in this region here. You know, honestly, nothing really too concerning out here today. The Storm Prediction Center, they did put a little risk for a couple thunderstorms today. Here in this kind of shade of green right here, this this light grade shade, that light green shade here. So there's going to be the possibility for a little bit of storm activity, but nothing really severe today is expected out of this. Just a bit of rainfall. Now we do actually have another system coming through up north, starting to impact, more of interior New England here. On the current radar, you can see some of that snow is starting to work its way in here throughout, like, New York State and whatnot. Up here towards, like, southern Canada, also getting a bit of snowfall here as well. So this will be bringing, several inches of snowfall to the region. We'll get to the accumulations and stuff like that here in a minute. But that is currently what is going on right now. We have a strong low that's just north of Michigan here, kicking up a lot of moisture, rolling to the southeast relatively, and working its way out here towards New England overall. Let's see here. What's up, Mike? Hope you're doing good, man. Welcome, welcome. What's up, Braven? Let's see here. What's up, Texas? What's up, James? Saying, what would the long-range outlook be for January through March? Wow. Well, that's a little far out to look. I don't really like looking too far out, personally. Now, honestly, I think this January, I did mention this in last live stream. I think that this January here, in February, I think we're going to be dealing with some really cold air. Regardless of La Nina or neutral conditions, we typically do get a lot of cold air that works its way down in the country. So that is going to be something that we're going to need to look out for. Is I really think that at some point this year we could be dealing with a lot of like polar vortexes and stuff like that. Can't be ruled out completely, but and also maybe some storms in the south. It just depends on factors of individual systems and everything like that. But I do think that some of the southern states could be dealing with a little bit of severe weather later on, possibly for January, February. But we'll get more into that. I might make a video possibly here soon, kind of like an update video of kind of, the mid and long range forecast and what we can expect out here. Up in the northwest currently, this is a current look at the radar, we do have a bit of snow falling up in some of those upper elevations here. A lot of rain and stuff like that rolling through the region here as we do have a low that is kind of impacting the western coast of Canada here, bringing some precipitation to the region here overall. With that, and then across the southwest, it's still pretty dry, thankfully. We actually did get a lot of snow a while back up there for those upper elevations. It was pretty heavy, and we did have several feet of snow up in some of those upper elevations. But since then, things have been thankfully a little bit more calm, after all that mess. But anyway, so that's currently what we're looking at. I just want to go ahead and show you guys what we're currently dealing with here. Let's see here. What's up, Cassie? Hope you're doing good. Welcome. Hope y'all are doing fantastic. So let's go ahead and hop into models here, guys. We need to talk about this. So, like I mentioned, the good news is that we are going to be seeing a bit of rainfall with this system, especially for the south and in a lot of the eastern country. We're going to be dealing with a pretty good amount of rainfall. It's going to be definitely pretty good, especially because, like I said, a lot of these places are actually relatively dry. If I bring you guys over here once again before we dive into models, actually I want to show you this first. This is the drought monitor. This is currently what we're looking like, and you can see that literally like all of the country is in a drought. There's some type of dry conditions here. So, it's been very dry across the country. The south here is also getting pretty dry up in some spots, but where a lot of the heavy drought conditions currently is like southeastern Ohio and like West Virginia. And this storm here will actually be bringing some rain for these regions here, which, won't necessarily cure the drought, but it will definitely help and, aid it and give you guys some more precip. There's going to be kind of two rounds of rainfall for you folks out here, towards like West Virginia and like Ohio and just, generally the east here in general. And with this upcoming storm, there's going to be a lot of cold air and stuff like that working its way down in the country here too. Also something we're going to look into. But let's just go ahead and hop over to models here. We're gonna take a look at the GFS first. Kind of show you guys what we got going on. So first of all, we have that little system we were talking about on the current radar we were looking at here a minute ago. So up here in the north, we have a bit of snow that's going to persist throughout tonight, through tomorrow here. It should be out of the northeast here relatively pretty much for tomorrow evening. It should be mostly out of the northeast here. It's just going to be a little bit of overnight snow, a little bit of, snow tomorrow. A lot of that's going to light up actually right around noon. We should start to see a lot of improvements and stuff like that up here in the upper northeast, which that will definitely be, pretty good. But it's going to bring a little bit of snowfall to the region here. Also getting another little clipper system, as you can see up here to the north. This will be popping off here tomorrow as well. Another low, is kicking up out here towards like the extreme northern plains and whatnot, which will be bringing some snow for folks out there by like North Dakota, by like Minnesota, Wisconsin, overall. But yeah, here's that rain that I was talking to you guys about. So that starts to really appear here in the south. So this is for basically tomorrow evening. We start to get a bit of rain kicking its way up here throughout like Louisiana, like Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Illinois, and portions of like Missouri here as well. So we will be seeing a lot of rain roll its way through here, basically starting tomorrow. I mean, right now it's raining, we looked at, so a lot of that precipitation is going to work its way up here to the northeast over the next little bit. But yeah, that rain will be driving, a bit of precipitation to the regions here of the south, in which this is here for tomorrow, working its way into the 9th overall. And it should be mostly calming down for right around the 10th, but there could be a little bit more snow up there in the north with this system. But that's not all. There's going to be even more precipitation that starts to kick up here with this cold front right around the 10th or so. Going into the 10th or the 11th, we start to get a lot of precipitation that really just kind of, kicks a lot of precip for the east. Now, once again, this will be driving down a lot of cold air as well. We're going to be getting a lot of super cold air working its way back down into the country here right around the 10th and 11th or so. We're going to start to deal with the cold air again, but, it's nice because we're going to have a little bit of a break here for the next day or so. With a little bit more warmer air in general. So that will be fairly good here. We're going to look at the temperatures since we're talking about it. Yeah, you can actually see it. It is going to be warming up a bit. So tomorrow afternoon, highs are going to be fairly decent, actually. Ohio Valley, possibly 40s and 50s. It's going to be a little bit more warmer out here. Central Plains, Southern Plains, in the 60s and 70s for tomorrow. Honestly, like I mentioned, not too bad. A little bit of a break from the cold. But the problem is like I said, that it is going to be quickly replaced by another cold blast of air, really driving its way down in the country here. So this is for the morning of the 11th. So what is that, like 4 days away or so? It's going to be getting pretty darn cold. And up in the north here, we could be breaking that that sub-zero range again. Up there in the northern plains, like North Dakota, even like northern Minnesota and whatnot. And now this might actually work its way up here for the morning of the 12th, possibly towards areas like Wisconsin. Could be maybe briefly breaching into the negative temperatures or the single digits. Very, very cold stuff with this storm as well. What's up, Kathy? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing all right. So yeah, we'll definitely be looking out for that, and just know that this warm air is just a temporary relief. It's it's not really going to be long term, unfortunately, but there is going to be more cooler air on the way after this overall. So we'll keep you guys posted on that, and I'll keep you all updated with that. Let's see here. Ragtie says, I'm down in the southwestern corner of Pennsylvania. I'm glad this is going to be only rain, not more snow this time. Our current ice is just about gone. A lot of black ice on the road. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a really big thing you got to look out for, with winter weather is, black ice. I mean, snow itself is slippery, and, yeah, it can make travel difficult, but it is just crazy whenever it comes to ice. I mean, you can have little amounts of ice and it just makes driving extremely dangerous. I mean, ice is by far the most dangerous overall. Let's see. What's up, Tabletop? How is coastal North Carolina for severe weather this week? Thankful for you, my friend. So SPC currently doesn't have anything for you regarding severe weather or anything like that. So the severe weather that we were saying that could be possible, you can see as we approach our way here into basically the 9th. Once this cold front starts rolling through here, there's going to be some instability that starts to build up here. Towards like Louisiana, towards like Mississippi and Alabama and whatnot. There is a chance that some of that instability, could be mixing in with enough wind shear to create some localized severe thunderstorms. More than likely, if it was to occur, it would be out here towards like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. For North Carolina, though, I mean, GFS here, for an example, which shouldn't be taken, as it is. I mean, this is just one model run, but there is a possibility that there could be some forms of instability out here as that cold front rolls through. So there could definitely be some storms on that. I mean, it is certainly possible. There is some really strong wind shear associated with this too, to kind of make up for the fact that there's not a lot of instability. So, I mean, yeah, there is going to be the shot, I think, for maybe a little bit of storm activity. That would be here for basically the late 10th into the early 11th. I'm going to grab a sounding here. We're we're going to take a look at this, kind of see what this sounding has to show us here. So, yeah, I mean, dews are pretty good. I mean, we're talking dew points in like the 60s and whatnot, but yeah, really not a lot of instability makes it that way through. I mean, yeah, I mean, ML mixed layer cape is like 100 something. That's not going to really be enough to do much. But like we mentioned, I mean, there is going to be some pretty strong wind shear. So, you know, while an environment we're going to have to watch out for, I mean, typically the long range models do struggle a bit more with the instability overall. Here, let's see. We're going to, I think I might have closed that tab. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, the longer range models I've noticed really don't hold the instability as well as like the mid-range and stuff. So looking at NAM here, you can obviously see that NAM has, you know, a fair amount of, you know, instability that works its way into some of these regions here for like the 10th and whatnot. You know, possibly some storms out here towards like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. And like we mentioned, I mean, it could, in theory, get its way towards North Carolina. But yeah, there's really not a lot that can be said right now, and there's definitely no way of, you know, knowing if it's going to be severe. It doesn't look anything concerning for your area per se, but we will keep an eye on it. But I mean, yeah, for some of these folks out here, you can see for basically the night of the 9th. We do have, you know, a decent, I mean, not a lot, obviously, but for this time of the year, it's doable amount of instability or fuel in the atmosphere for these storms. And then, like we mentioned, with that on top of it, you know, there is, you know, not necessarily a super strong, you know, jet of, you know, air, but the lower level jet stream is, you know, it's decent, you know, it's decent. So, I mean, is it enough to get possible severe weather going? Yes. I mean, especially, you know, we got our dew points here in the mid-60s. Certainly will be good, you know, in terms of supplying the moisture that's needed for those storms. Yeah, I mean, I really do think so. I really do think that we're going to have a shot for some storms up in the south. But we'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. Let's see here. Kathleen coming in with a $15 Cash App donation just now. Holy cow, dude. No way. Kathleen, thank you so much for that. Saying thank you, Andrew, for keeping us updated. Kathleen, you're very welcome. Thank you, seriously, for the support. That is, like, really sweet of you. I really appreciate that. Kathleen, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate your support, my friend. That really means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Very, very nice of you. Big shout out goes to you. Let's see here. Ragtide says, like and share. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. See, Janice says, hi, Andrew. Hope you're well. Yeah, you too. You want me to take a look at the zip code? I mean, we're not necessarily doing zip codes right now, but I can do it real quickly if we only do this one real fast. But we'll get to more zip codes here in a little bit, guys. So, you're up in southern New Hampshire. Let's see here. So you, my friend, currently are not under any form of warnings or advisories or watches or anything like that. Northern and central New Hampshire does have some winter weather advisories. So down there where you're at here, let me pull up the expected snowfall accumulations out there. So you're out here kind of towards near Manchester, kind of roughly in that area. Now, pretty much, I mean, everywhere in the state of New Hampshire could see some form of snow. I mean, you're not going to get a lot. You're kind of on the lighter end of, you know, the expected snowfall accumulations. You know, you could pick up an inch or so. I mean, really not a lot to do much of anything, but, you know, about an inch or so. But up to the north, you know, for more of the folks out by, like, central New Hampshire and northern, you know, snow accumulations out here, and especially those upper elevations, are going to be, you know, decent, you know, over a half a foot in some of these regions here. I mean, we're going to be dealing with a pretty good amount. Up here with that other little system that we were talking about with the, you know, with the models here and stuff, you can actually see here that, you know, we're going to be getting a fair amount of snowfall too, for some of you folks up there in like northern Minnesota. I mean, you know, it'll be not an absurd amount, but, you know, about a half a foot in some areas, you know, could be quite possible. Let's see here. James says thumbs up, and like button too. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate y'all's support. Thank you for everything. If you haven't already, y'all, consider subscribing. Be much appreciated. Once again, I appreciate you guys for all that you do. Why is that? Hold on a minute. Why is that? My scene broke here. I need to fix my scene. Oh, buddy. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, so, going back to the severe weather and stuff like that, there is the ingredients in play. There is instability. There's that fuel for those storms. We do have a decent jet stream. I mean, like I said, the jet stream here is fairly decent. I mean, it'll be enough to get some organization, and, some of those storms going on. So, yeah, basically for the 9th here, guys, the night of the 9th into the early 10th, I think we're going to be dealing with a little bit of storms. Now, will it need coverage? I mean, I probably will cover it for sure, but, I don't expect an outbreak or anything like that to occur. It would probably just be kind of more of like a regional severe weather event, but I mean, definitely is capable of, severe weather and everything like that. So, given wind shear and, instability, also moisture, like we mentioned too, those dew points here in the 60s, which is pretty good, pretty good to get some of those storms going and whatnot. So, we'll definitely watch out for that. And, once again, this is going to be bringing some temporary relief regarding some of those temperatures and stuff. Once you are ahead of the cold front, so in this case, the cold front's like right in here, roughly, we get a lot of that advecting air, a lot of that warm air that pulls north. So you're going to notice a temporary shift in temperatures. It's going to be pretty nice for some of you folks out here. You're going to notice things are heating up a bit more and everything like that. But like I said, it's not going to last that long because then that cold air is going to really, here, we'll move the GFS. But yeah, that cold air is going to be really working its way back down into the country. I mean, look, it's going to get freezing cold, and that's an understatement. I mean, it's going to get really, really cold. GFS here for the morning of the 13th. Look at that. Ohio Valley here in the, kind of out there towards the lower teens. I mean, Ohio there, 12, towards central side, 17. I mean, obviously it ranges, and you can't take that approximately, but, that is pretty cold air that works its way through. And then, like we mentioned, up north, beforehand here, basically for working our way into the 10th, mostly the 11th. Yeah, for the morning of the 11th, that's where, we get those temperatures down here in like the negatives, which is just really, really cold, like beyond cold. So, yeah, that's definitely going to be pretty nasty. So, cold air with this system here, snowfall, possibly some severe weather, is going to be something we're going to need to look for. We're in Ottawa for tonight in Ontario. Gotcha, Janice. So you're up in Canada. It's pretty cool. I've never been to Canada. I've always wanted to. It's pretty cool up there. I've always wanted to take a trip up there to go see the Northern Lights. I think that'd be super, super cool. But anyways, but yeah, so, once again, a little bit of temporary relief is going to be, kind of nice for a little bit. And, once again here, basically for tomorrow, yeah, you're going to notice it tomorrow. So like tomorrow afternoon here, this is for the 8th, you can notice that, portions of the Midwest and like the Central Plains, we're going to be up in like the 50s and 60s, which is going to be nice. But then, like I said, that low comes down, brings a lot of cold air with it, and that's just going to really cause things to get, once again, back in winter-like temperatures. So it's just temporary, unfortunately. It's going to be a little bit cold. I mean, even all the way down in Florida, too. I mean, for us, I'm in Central Florida for those who don't know. I mean, even for us, these temperatures getting down in like the 30s and 40s is pretty cold, pretty cold for us. For you guys, it's nothing, but for us, it's pretty, it's pretty chilly for sure. All right, we're going to hop back to the models here. Actually, I want to look at the accumulations with you guys. We're going to pick up on snowfall accumulations and kind of talk about what we can see out here. Julie says, I'm in York, Pennsylvania. Gotcha. I've been to Pennsylvania once, back when I lived up in Northern Virginia. I've only been there one time. But yeah, anyway, so hopping over here to the GFS. So we're still looking at the American GFS model. So with the snowfall, like I said, we're going to kind of see like 2 rounds of snow over the next couple of days. The first round is happening like now. If we hop our way back over the radar currently real quickly, you can see that, some of that snow is starting to build its way in out here towards, New York State and whatnot. Further down in time, that's going to start pushing its way in towards like Vermont and New Hampshire and, some more of those. Dude, I did not know I could do this. No way, dude. I did not know I can look upside. Oh, dude, that is weird. What the heck? That is weird looking at the states from upside down. Dude, I never knew I could do that. I literally, after having this program for so long, I never knew I could turn it with the right mouse. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here, but that's crazy. Anyways, yeah, so we're seeing that snow roll through southern Canada here right now. And, of course, you know, starting to work its way up here in the northeast. But if we hop our way back to the models here, pulling up the GFS here, let's look at the snowfall. Stuff like that, kind of see how much snow we're going to be possibly seeing. So this is the GFS here. So this is the first round of snowfall. Let me actually do 24-hour snowfall. That way it'll, you know, be a little bit better. So, like I said, we're kind of seeing two different rounds of snowfall. So for the first round, for this little guy rolling through, you know, really not an absurd amount. A little bit, you know, upper portions of like New York State could have local amounts, you know, maybe 6-7 inches or so, according to GFS, possible. You know, mostly though throughout the region it's going to be roughly about 3 to 5. Where you see a lot of the dark blue, that is roughly in the range of around 3 inches or so. While this kind of lighter mid blue stuff, this is kind of right around 1 or 2 inches. So, you know, some of the heaviest snowfall is going to be throughout some of these regions here, also like southern Maine, according to the GFS model, where we're going to see it basically about like 3 to 5. Locally higher, once again, up here towards like northern New York State. So that's the first round. Then the second round of snowfall comes through. You know, bring in a similar amount of snowfall, but, you know, kind of for more of the southern areas and more for like, you know, Vermont and New Hampshire. You know, these regions here seeing roughly about 3 to 5 inches or so. For you folks, you know, and kind of the east central side of New York State and like Vermont and New Hampshire and, you know, a little bit of southern Maine could be picking up about 3 to 5 out there according to GFS here. And then that kind of rolls through. Now, there might even be a third round. I mean, this is not that far out in time. I mean, this is for the 12th. But it is a little early to be for sure, you know, regarding the, you know, the exact amount of snowfall. But there could be some more snow. This is going to be kicking off here right around the 11th and 12th for you folks up here in the Northeast, in which, you know, there could be a bit more for you guys with this third system. So there's, you know, like 3 rounds of snow coming through. It's a lot. But yeah, this is within, you know, 114 hours or so, which is reasonable forecasting time. I mean, this is what, like 5 days away, basically? Yeah, like 5 days. I mean, within 5 days, there's like 3 rounds of snow that comes through. So, you know, according to GFS here, I mean, that third round could be bringing a little bit more. And also a bit more to the south, you know, possibly even up there towards like the Shenandoah Valley, you know, could even get a little bit of snowfall. Actually, I lived in Prince William County. This is where I grew up here in Northern Virginia. So, you know, starting to see some snow for this area would get a little exciting. But yeah, so for the Shenandoah Valley there, I mean, we could see maybe a little bit, a couple inches, but that's according to one model, you know, GFS. Don't get your hopes too high right now because there still is a bit of uncertainty. And then once again, upper elevations like of West Virginia could be picking up a decent amount. But let's compare that. Let's pull up Euro. This is the ECMWF model. Now, arguably, the Euro is known to be one of the more accurate models. You know, I'm sure you guys have probably heard that before. I've seen both models perform well and poorly. I want to let you guys know that, you know, you shouldn't really trust one of the models over the other. I mean, honestly, you really kind of need to take them all into consideration equally. So if you've heard, you know, Euro, arguably one of the most accurate model, but according to ECMWF, you know, with that first little round of snow that comes through, you know, really not a lot of differences here according to, like, this versus the GFS. Now, you know, this one does show a little bit less for some of those upper elevations, but generally around, like, 1 to 2 inches, you know, locally 3 or 4 out here towards, like, Maine, you know, the heavier side being up here towards, like, eastern Maine. And then, you know, roughly right around like 2 to 4 inches out here kind of for like northern New York State, northern Vermont, kind of central New Hampshire here. Could be dealing with, you know, a little bit more, but, you know, really not a lot on that first round. Now, that rolls through, and then the second round starts here. Now, the second round is going to be a little bit further south, you know, further south than the northern one, where folks out there kind of by, you know, like, you know, Massachusetts, you know, could be dealing with a couple of inches of snowfall with this second storm here. This will be taking place here basically for the 10th, starting here for basically the late 9th going into the 10th here, in which, areas out here by like, Massachusetts could be dealing with, maybe a good 2 to 3 inches or so. Being possible, East Central New York, maybe around like 3 to 5 inches, and so forth. But like the GFS suggested, there's going to be that third wave that's going to be rolling through for basically the 11th, going its way into the 12th here, in which we can see, especially like in eastern New York State, where we could be picking up, maybe a little bit less according to this model than what like the GFS suggested, or the American model. The Euro suggests, a little bit more, possibly towards like 3 to 5, locally higher, maybe towards 6, could be possible. And then after that, we might be dealing with a little bit more lake effect snow and stuff like that. If we do the total snowfall accumulation here, which we'll look at now, so this is basically within the next 5 days of snowfall we're going to be talking about here. So from now basically until the 12th, between now and the 12th here, we could be dealing with, a decent amount of snow. Once again, kind of broken up into 3 different waves here, with overall some of the most of the snow being out here for mostly you folks in like northern New York State, upper elevations of Vermont, northern New Hampshire and whatnot. Now, the Euro suggests maybe a little bit of snow for you folks out there towards, like, Ohio. Not going to be a lot, really. I mean, just a little bit that we'll have to look out there for, in general. Mostly just less than an inch, of course, and that'll be kind of falling here for basically the late 10th here. You guys out there by, like, Kentucky and, like, Ohio could be seeing a little bit here. Let's move this down to the Ohio Valley. Let's also remove this here. In general. So, Euro here, you can kind of see does show, a little bit of snow, really not a lot here for the basically the 11th here going into the 12th, could drive a little bit, not a lot. GFS on that, does show, let's see here, also a little bit, a bit less for like Kentucky and whatnot, but maybe a little bit still possible for like Ohio. So obviously there's a little bit of uncertainty there regarding all of that. Let's see here. When does the possible severe thunderstorms come in? So that'll be taking place here. Let's go and hop all the way back over here. So we were looking at that earlier here. And, you can see here, once we approach our way here in towards like basically late Monday, you can see that there is some instability that worked its way into the country here. I mean, this will roll its way through Monday and, through like Tuesday. We might be having enough instability to allow for some storms and perhaps maybe even some severe storms, because we do have a decent jet stream involved as well. And on top of that, there's a lot of moisture available, mid-60s dew points, pretty good, for supplying that moisture and whatnot. So, that'll definitely be pretty good, in terms of, potential of maybe some severe storms. I definitely do think that there will be that shot. And for who will see that, will probably be for areas near like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, just basically, the deep south. We'll be dealing with a little bit of that storm activity in general. Once again, there is enough instability there. If we pull up the lower level jet stream, we do have a lower level jet here of around like 30, 40 knots or so, which, is enough to get some good organization going on. And our mid-level jet is even faster, upwards of 60 knots and, even higher to the north, about like 70, maybe 80 knots or so. So, yeah, I mean, definitely is looking quite possible, with all the ingredients in place, the wind shear, the instability, while it's not a super, super crazy amount of, instability, it's typical for this time of the year for, some severe weather events to happen. And, this is enough to do the job really. And then of course we do have the dew points here once again, like in the mid 60s, which, 60s, hey, if you're ranging your dew points into 60s, you're kind of in the Goldilocks zone there. So you're pretty good. What's up, Lake Effect? Hope you're doing good. I have a question. How can I be moderator? So go to our description, click on our Discord, and join our Discord, and then there's some more information there you can look at. To apply for mod, you got to go through our Discord, which we actually, I overhauled the whole description, so you guys can check all that out there. Let's see. Brandy says, can I please get a look into 63116 for next week? Yeah, I can do that for you. Here, let me actually hop you guys back over here to this. We kind of finished looking at the models there for now anyways. So for 63116, let's see here. 63116. This is out here in St. Louis. Okay, so St. Louis, really not expecting much of anything anytime soon. Nothing winter related, really. However, whenever it comes to like precipitation and stuff, let me check and see kind of what we're seeing. So yeah, a lot of that rain actually, because we are going to be getting a fair amount of rain here. In the south, especially from this upcoming system here. But yeah, for you, honestly, it's going to be probably pretty dry for a little bit. Really not going to be seeing a whole lot of anything out there by you. However, the one thing I will tell you is that there is more cold air on the way. With that future system that we're talking about here, there's going to be a pretty chilly amount of air coming through. You could see, especially for the morning of the 12th here, I mean, we could be getting into the 20s out there, according to GFS. And Euro for the morning of the 12th suggests us maybe a little warmer, upper 20s, but yeah, definitely going to be pretty cold. We do have that to the show for us here, but I mean, yeah, but nothing really precipitation related, nothing crazy that way or anything. So that's definitely good. Now regarding current warnings and advisories and stuff, right now, like I mentioned, we have that little clipper system up north here. We do have a little bit of winter weather advisory activity going on up here for like northern North Dakota, like northern Minnesota here. And we do have a little bit, kind of scattered winter weather advisories, some in like south central Maine, like northern and central New Hampshire, northern Vermont, and a little bit of southern Vermont, some counties. Now we do have a bit of winter storm warnings up here in New York State. Once again, areas like Watertown here, seeing a winter storm warning. 5 to 9 inches, 3 to 5 across lower elevations here, and wind gusts as high as 35. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they still have a lot of snow that's left over here. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye out there for them. Yeah, they've been dealing with a lot of really, really heavy snow conditions. Now let's talk timing here. So like I mentioned, we do have another little winter system rolling through here. The timing here, so we're going to start to really see that snow kind of roll in here basically for, this evening, which we're already seeing now starting to occur. Now, that snow will start to build into like Vermont mostly here for basically, later on tonight, working our way into tomorrow morning, right around midnight. This is midnight Eastern. We could be snowing pretty good out here towards like New York State, possibly some snow out there by Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, bits of Maine. Maybe even a little bit of Connecticut could see a bit of snow according to the NAM 3K here. I mean, it is possible. And then things start to kind of pull out from New York here pretty much for tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. There could be a little bit more lake effect snow. So we'll have to look out for that. But yeah, you can see that we will be getting a bit of that snow. And that general snowstorm here, that first round of snow that comes through, that will be pretty much out basically here by tomorrow evening. So this is for 4 p.m. tomorrow. As we approach our way here for 4 p.m. tomorrow here, we will be kind of rolling out there. But then, of course, then we get that second wave. We get a lot of rain that starts building up here in the country. Maybe some storms, like we mentioned. Maybe some severe weather. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, you can start to see that rain really pulling in. And once again, this is good because, a lot of these folks out here have been super dry. And, this will definitely help kind of combat that. Once again, it won't necessarily cure those conditions completely, but it will help out a bit as, there is a lot of concerns and there is a lot of, dry conditions. And also up north, like we mentioned too, we will be having this kind of, this other little clipper system here. Kind of rolling through. You can kind of see a little bit of a wintry mix on the bottom side here. So this will really start to kind of take place here for pretty much tomorrow morning. Yeah, later tomorrow morning, that's when this thing kind of starts to come together here. Basically by midnight on the 9th. So basically going into the 9th here, that snow will be coming down pretty good up in like southern Ontario. like southern Manitoba, some of those regions up there in Canada, and like eastern Montana, northern North Dakota, a little bit of like northern Minnesota here. And at this time here for midnight, going into the 9th, there will be a bit of rainfall falling too across some of these regions here. And then, of course, some of that snow will continue to linger throughout the 9th. But then we start to come up for that second system up in the north. Starting to see maybe a little bit of wintry mix around the morning of the 9th out here towards like Pennsylvania, eventually turning into kind of snow here right around the evening. This is right around 4 p.m. of the 9th, showing a bit of snowfall kicking off here towards like northern New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, overall, and then kind of, rolling through there. And that's where the model ends. So, I'll play this in motion so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. In general. So, there's a couple rounds that we're kind of dealing with here. And you can see this big storm here is going to be bringing, a lot of precipitation with it. We have that, that northerly warm air advection ahead of the cold front here that's going to be temporarily warming things up here. And then after that system kind of rolls through, we're going to start to get a lot of that cooler air backing in from the backside, from up north. It's going to really start to kind of cool things down quite a bit here in general. But once again, it's going to be taking place here in a couple of rounds. As we did look at the main models like the GFS and the Euro, up there in the northeast here, I mean, we're going to be talking, pretty, quite a few rounds, of snowfall. Once again, with that first round rolling through like right now, currently, and that'll be out basically by tomorrow. And then that second round kind of pulling up here for basically the later portion of the 9th. And then that third round, like we were talking about, kind of right around the 12th. So, we'll keep you guys posted with everything and, what's going on there. Actually, what I do want to do for you guys is I do want to see, do I have, let's see here. Here, let me edit something real quickly for you guys. I want to add something real quick. You're going to see another screen pop up here for a minute. I'm going to edit this because I can grab the time for you guys. It'd probably make it a little easier if you guys can kind of see what time we're talking about here. It might be a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, so now you guys can kind of see the time here. Let me do that a little bit, and we'll put this up in the top right. Yeah, we usually keep it up in the top right. There you go. Yeah, so now you guys can kind of see, what we're looking at here regarding the timing and stuff. There we go. All right, let's see here. Will there be a slight risk of or more severe weather threat Monday? So I'm not sure if it's going to be slight or like marginal or whatnot, but we'll keep you posted. Whenever the SPC decides that they want to, do something. If they do, we'll let you know. But as of now, there is no slight risk in effect here. But like we mentioned, I think right around the 9th, would not be surprised if we pulled like a marginal at least, because all the ingredients are there for possible severe weather. Just tune in. Anything for West Michigan? So West Michigan here, we do have a little bit of precipitation, a bit of rain coming through. That'll be kind of taking place here for, as you can see, right around the late 8th going into the 9th. So, yeah, whenever it comes to it, nothing really super crazy for you guys. Really not expecting anything going on out there for y'all. Really anytime soon. But, yeah, the thing is, though, is that, we're going to be dealing with a lot of cold air in the future to come for you guys, which is going to be a little brutal. Now, let's see here. Let me actually pull up the temperatures. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be really getting cold as we approach our way here, basically, into the 12th and 13th here. I should go ahead and show you guys here real quickly. So, yeah, we approach our way into the 12th and 13th. I mean, we're talking temperatures here getting into, like, the teens. I mean, it's just going to be brutal. So, yeah, just know there's a lot of cold air, but, winter precipitation and whatnot, not really a lot of anything going on out there. Anything for northern Minnesota? Yeah, actually. So it depends on where you're at up in northern Minnesota. So you're under a winter weather advisory. Yeah, so if we hop our way over here back to that. So these little squares here you see, these are winter weather advisory. So, yeah, it just depends on what part you're in, but there will be some snow for northern Minnesota, yes. And, with that storm and everything, it's going to start out possibly as, a bit of wintry mix. Basically for tomorrow, later tomorrow morning is when things are going to start to come in play. You know, and that snow will continue through tomorrow afternoon, through tomorrow evening, and, you know, continue even into the morning of the 9th. And then it'll start to kind of break up here for the later portion of the 9th in general. So, you know, all of tomorrow for the most part, yeah, you're gonna be dealing with some snow for mostly all day tomorrow. And you know, some of these places could be dealing with a decent amount. I mean, I did see here. Let me pull this up real quick. So the forecasted amounts up here, you know, some areas could be dealing with, you know, upwards a little bit less than a half a foot. You know, right around 5 inches or so. But yeah, it just depends on what part, because it does range, you know, quite a bit. You're welcome, Holly. No problem. Any severe weather for Central Florida? So I don't see any really concern for us here in Central Florida. Let's see here. Henry says, "Can it stick?" Yeah, it will stick. You will get some of it. I mean, honestly, Florida might have enough instability for some storms here for the late 10th going into the 11th. I think we might have a little bit of instability available for possibly some storms. It's still a little early, though, to see if they're going to be anything severe, because if we actually hop our way back over here to the models, you can see as that cold front comes through, all that purple and pink there, that's the instability or the unstable air that creates thunderstorms and whatnot. You can actually see that there will be a bit of that instability that does kind of work its way throughout, like Florida, eventually working its way towards the central side. So maybe, right now it's a little early to tell, though. Let's see. My brother goes to school at NMU. And I don't know how you say that. How much are they getting? I could actually just copy and paste that. It might be a little bit better, because I have no idea how you pronounce that. Yeah, my pronunciation of some names is a little iffy. All right, so okay, so this is upper state Michigan. Gotcha. So for the upper side here of Michigan, so there will be some snow that'll be taking place here basically for the later portion here of later portion of tomorrow. We're going to be getting a little bit of snow. There's actively no warnings or any advisories for you. We're just going to be dealing with a little bit of snowfall. Now, for the region here, like regarding the expected amount of snowfall, let's see here. Really not a whole lot. A couple of inches. 1 to 2 inches or so could be possible. Really not anything to do a whole lot, but a little bit. You guys have already been dealing with a lot more than that, so it's like, this is not going to really be a lot for y'all. Let's see here. What about Huntsville, Alabama? So down in Huntsville, and just in general, like Alabama, we're going to be seeing that cold front rolling through here, basically for the 9th. Like I was talking about, there might be some instability available for some storms, possibly some severe storms. I think a lot of that activity will probably be to your south for the most part, from the way the models are suggesting it. If we hop our way back over here to the NAM, regarding the instability and whatnot, you can't see it, but, you're kind of right there. There's a lot of that energy is going to be mostly to your south. But we'll keep an eye on it, and obviously we'll see what SPC ends up doing with this event and whatnot. Certainly do think that there could be some storms. Regardless, you're going to be getting a fair amount of rain out there too. Now, if I actually pull up the rainfall, let's see here. We're gonna hop our way down to the south. So. Yeah, according to Euro, we could be dealing with maybe about an inch or so. Inch or so of rainfall. And then you got the GFS here, which, basically on the same. So, about an inch of rain could be quite possible. Anyways, but so that's that. That'll be good because, we have been pretty dry in some of these spots down here, which I will show you again if I pull this up here. So you can kind of see that it is fairly dry, especially up there by Huntsville where you're at. So this will definitely help. Let's see here. Also, one of my friends lives in, is it Ackley, Minnesota? How much snow that you get around? So let's see here. So they got a winter weather advisory here. Total snow accumulations up to 1/10 and ice accumulations up to 1/10 of an inch. So yeah, there will be a bit of ice too. Yeah, really not a lot of snow, honestly, for those areas there. This region's a bit more further to the south, where those accumulations are a little bit less. Which, so you can kind of see there's that, and then, like I mentioned, there will be some ice too. You know, about a millimeter and a half or so, which isn't a super large amount, but even a little ice could cause huge problems. So, yeah, keep that in mind. There will be ice out there. See, December rainy season. Yep. I mean, it's there. We're starting to get a lot of that rain working its way up here too right now, throughout like Texas and Louisiana currently. So it's a coming. It's a coming. But anyways, folks, well, you know, if y'all have any zip codes or anything like that you want me to take a look at, feel free to let me know. We're gonna be heading off here in about 10 minutes or so. Yeah, we're gonna call it at the hour mark and stuff. So if you guys are enjoying this, consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. So tomorrow on the table, we'll go live again for y'all. We'll do some more updates and whatnot, and we'll keep you guys whether we're. I think tomorrow, honestly, I might do a video instead. So I might do a video tomorrow, maybe a YouTube short live stream instead of the stream we're doing here. So I would look forward to a video tomorrow because I think that'll probably be mostly necessary. I'm gonna start kind of limiting my streaming on this over here because I feel like update streams are good, but I feel like they'll probably be better if we do YouTube shorts for like update streams. This layout I feel like would be more necessary for live coverages. So that's what I'm gonna start planning. That's what we're probably gonna start doing. So whenever there's like severe weather coverage or winter weather coverage or whatnot, we will use this layout from basically here on, and so forth. But anyways, folks. But yeah, so that's that. Once again, we're just watching a bit of a lot of rain rolling through the Ohio Valley. A bit of storms, possibly some severe weather down in the south. A couple rounds of snow up in the northeast, and a bit of a clipper up here in the north. And then following all of that, we're going to be having ourselves, a lot of that cold air working its way down here. It's going to be pretty cold, especially getting up in like the teens out there in some of the Ohio Valley here for, I think it was the 12th that we looked at. So it's going to get pretty cold, pretty cold. What's up, Sonia? Saying, quick popped on here before taking my cat to the emergency vet, waiting for my ride. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hopefully your cat's okay. But anyways, so yeah, we'll keep y'all posted. Like I mentioned, tomorrow we're just gonna do a video, and then we'll do maybe a YouTube live stream on YouTube Shorts later. But once again, if anybody has any zip codes before I roll off here, feel free to throw them down. If not, then we're probably gonna head off here soon. Then, like I mentioned, for the folks who is in the advisories currently, we do have ourselves, like I mentioned, northern North Dakota, northern Minnesota. Up in the northeast, we do have a bit of winter storm warnings in effect out here towards like Watertown and whatnot, north of Syracuse, and then of course a couple of scattered winter weather advisories and stuff. Let's see here. It's cold and been raining all day here in 78729. Gotcha. What about Des Moines, Iowa? So Des Moines, Iowa, we really don't have a lot going on other than just a bit of cold air coming through. I mean, you're going to be relatively just out of the precipitation for the next several days. From now until basically the 10th. I mean, yeah, we're not going to be really dealing with anything out there. So, but yeah, the one thing that I would keep an eye on is, like I said, the cold air. But I mean, you guys have already been dealing with a lot of cold air out there, so it will get pretty chilly. And it's going to get pretty cold. Here, let me show you this real quick. So, yeah, GFS here, you can kind of see it. It might get very cold. For the morning of the 12th, according to GFS out there by Des Moines, we could be breaching the lower teens and maybe even the single digits of temperatures. So, yeah, you're going to definitely want to bundle up for that. That's going to be just ridiculously cold. Let's see. You're welcome, Peachy. No problem. They'll know she won't eat or drink for well over 24 hours. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sonny. Hopefully you'll get that all squared away. Hopefully your cat's okay. But alright, everybody. Well, once again, I appreciate y'all for joining. Thank you guys for hanging out here and everything. And like I mentioned, tomorrow we'll have a video up for you guys, and we'll do a YouTube short live stream for you all. That way we can, help keep you guys up to date in weather aware and stuff like that. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. Leave a like. And once again, I do appreciate everybody. And once again, a big shout out goes to Kathleen for the $15 Cash App donation. I appreciate that. That helps me out a ton. Helps keep our programs running and helps keep me living. So I really appreciate the people who do support us. And if you'd like to support what we do, check out our description. We have all kinds of stuff down there, including ways to donate. Obviously we have all kinds of lists, like our social medias and stuff like that. You guys don't have to, but I'm just saying, if you did want to, that's where it's at. You guys could check out the description. And alrighty, everybody, once again, thanks for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And alrighty, my friends, we'll catch you all tomorrow. Stream's gonna head off here in approximately let's see here. Stream will head off here in approximately 1 minute. So go ahead and say goodbye to your friends, your family, anybody you're hanging out with in the chat. And alrighty, everybody, thank you for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, my friends. Catch y'all later on.